Hey guys, so for this video I want to demonstrate how to do a thrown foot. A thrown foot is basically a flat bottom pot that has a thin, well compressed bottom in less than quarter inch thick, that kind of thing. Well compressed is important for the bottom of the pot. And what's different here is we're going to use this volume. This could be the bottom of a vase or part of a pitcher form or whatever it is, it's part of a pot. We're just talking about the foot right now. So I'm going to continue this line of this sort of egg shape down and in and press out some of the extra clay onto the bat and cut it away. So I'll be able to take a volume and then make kind of like what looks like a foot on the outside that's actually just a flat bottom pot on the inside. Why would you want to do that, you ask? Well, you don't have to turn it over and trim it. So anyway, what we're going to do now is work our way down this volume, in and down, and press the clay out on the bat. So the first step here is to make sure that you've dampened the piece and the sponge, and you want to be able to hold some part of it. If it's more of a cylindrical shape, you can hold onto the rim a little bit. Here I'm just going to put my finger in the small hole at the top. So we're going to start up above, very similar to undercutting. We're going to start up above the area that we want to affect, work our way down and slowly apply pressure until you're really starting to push the clay away from the shape that you want to remain. So you can see how I'm like making that egg shape more continuous, right? Now it's an egg shape that goes in even further, and I've pushed the clay down and away and onto the bat. So I'm going to do that one more time, and that will basically, we'll add a little bit of like detail work to it, but it'll basically look like a foot on the outside, but really it's just a flat bottom pot. Again, I'm working my way down and in, applying a little inward pressure, trying to get kind of more and more of that egg shape to reveal itself. Now, one thing that can happen here, and I think it's happening now, is the foot is a little bit too wide, right? When the pot's not like turned over and you're trimming it and you're making decisions about the diameter of the foot. When you're doing it this way, it's very easy for the foot to end up a little wide. So I'm going to cut some clay away here. I just take my undercutting tool, and I'm just cutting straight down. So I've basically removed the part of the clay that was coming out and effectively reduced the diameter of what will be the thrown foot. So what I've done there really is exposed more of the volume, right? More of the egg shape, and then gotten rid of some extra clay where the foot's going to be. So now I'm going to try and make the foot. So I'm just pushing right in at this corner. You kind of come from above, and then you can come from below and just sort of get that angle to be a little bit more clear. And I'm still thinking it's a little on the wide side for this volume, so I'm going to cut some more away. And one other tool I like to use for that is just the same undercutting tool, but the other side is just square cut. A small square cut, 3/8 of an inch wide or so, little tool like this is really helpful in the studio. I use it all the time. You don't want a thrown foot to look like you didn't bother to make a foot. It's really important. It's very easy for that to happen. So that's why I keep reducing the diameter here more and more until it's really like presenting the volume and it's a slightly opposed angle to the volume, right? So it's like coming in and then back out. So now it's coming in to meet the pot, like that. And that'll be okay. Alright, so I'm going to just take a sheet metal rib, clean up this curve. Sometimes you actually have to push a little bit with this rib to get it to work out. It's tricky because you can't provide any counter pressure on the inside. You know, most of the time with ribs you're dealing with two ribs so you can compress a wall. But in this situation you can't do that. So sometimes you have to get tricky. Like I'm going to go down this curve one more time with the sponge just to smooth it out. I'll take my sheet metal rib again, tuck it right into the corner there. There we go. So I like that leaves a little bit of a shelf That's actually a foot that I trim a lot of the time, is a foot that has a little band where the volume meets the foot. I like that quite a lot, so I'm going to leave it. And I'm just going to tuck the sheet metal rib right into that corner. And then just blend it up. So there we go. Now we have a volume with a thrown foot. Now what would you do with this? You could turn it into a vase. You could leave this piece right on the bat, just attached the way it is. Let it firm up till the top is leather hardish, and then throw a separate cylinder, add it right on here, and pull, and you'd have a beautiful vase that has a nice neck and a good volume. You could open this up a little bit to do that. You know, that's a little small, but it could be a really exaggerated version of that form, which could be really nice. So yeah, I'd give that a whirl. So this is a cool way to make pots. It lets you take some shortcuts without sacrificing anything visual. Okay guys, thanks for watching my video on how to do a thrown foot.